Crank that sound or grab your earbuds. It's time for Artist Direct on FM 100.5, your inside scoop on the music scene. Brought to you by Singing Hammers Construction.
Younger than I know year, time wins again. Sometimes it seems to me my friends begin someday our lives will end. Seasons pass and flowers fading, words come death with thoughts invading. If you don't know what to say, don't worry, don't please. Take some time to smile and to look up at the sky. Take some time to unwind. You might be surprised by what you find. Passes everywhere, bones break and tendons, tears will ride the river if you dare. When I break up right head down, I sing to myself to the morning song. I'm rolling on, go back to bed. When I wake up, the sun's right overhead. Take some time to smile and to look up at the sky. Take some time to unwind. You might be surprised by what you find. Was it matters the sun still shines, the grass still grows, and the birds still sing. I think it's enough to see what I mean. Took my grand old innocent days. What does it matter if the band still plays? The stars still shine and the moon still gleams. Without it, thing on my heart seems. Take some time to smile and to look up at the sky. Take some time to unwind. You might be surprised by what you find.
It's Artist Direct here on FM 100.5, the Evergreen Grass Band, and the song is Fortune Passes. And right now I'm super excited to have on the air with me one of the members of the Evergreen Grass Band, Greg Manning, the bass man. Hey, Greg, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing really well, and I'm super grateful that you were selected to get up early and talk with me.
Thanks. Yeah, it's being up early. Maybe I'll be able to, get some stuff around the house done I normally don't do.
See, look, I feel helpful. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. Well, I got to help you get the stuff done because you're going to be traveling this way, and we're going to talk more about that. But you guys are coming to perform this weekend in Decorah.
Correct.
That's exciting. We love the Haymarket, and you're going to have a good time there. And people, you might feel like the floor is going to break, but you're going to be fine. Just go with it.
Okay. All right.
Well, especially with music like that, I'll tell you, it's really hard as an audience member to sit still, and I'm not sure we should even fight it when you hear bluegrass music. I was looking at your background, and as I'm listening to Fortune Passes, and it's really getting going, and the mandolin's there, and it's kicking in, and the bass is like pulling that line along. I mean, have you ever done a show where people just sat there and looked at you, or how could they not get up?
There's been a couple here and there where
I just can't
people,
picture that.
Are just kind of in awe of of what's going on, but there's always some kind of motion going on from whether it's a head bob or
yes,
that kind of thing.
the cross-legged foot tap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the one and only.
That's for some Norwegians, that's the most they give. So you guys, and I can make the Norwegian joke a little bit because Norwegian, German, all those northern Scandinavian and Germanic countries are sort of represented where you guys are from, which is Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I'm very familiar with it, and I have to ask, are you all from Eau Claire?
Yes, I'm from Chippewa, which is just outside of the Eau Claire region, but I spent growing up a lot of time in and out of Eau Claire, and then Matt and Tim, the bass and guitar player, are from Eau Claire, so we're all from the greater Chippewa Valley, which is the same centralized area.
Absolutely, and when I had spent some time in Eau Claire, it was Eau Claire and up were always like the North Woods. Do you feel woodsy? Like, do you feel like woodsy people?
Yes, at times, and since being in this group, it's amazing. The places that we end up traveling a lot of times, believe it or not, are often kind of awash with forests or evergreen trees. We spent time this last year in Colorado National Park.
Yes,
and there's just some beautiful pine trees up there, and then I think there's a couple national parks in Minnesota that we ended up to with the similar thing. And so you look around and say, yeah, like we are becoming, or I think I was always a forest person growing up, and I think Matt, Tim, could probably say the same, where we like to spend a lot of time out in the trees. And I don't know if we are in the like Sasquatch people category or not, but it's definitely something that I feel akin to.
Well, and we should talk about who all these not quite Sasquatch guys in the band are. Who is the band made up of?
What was that?
Oh, who is the band made up of? Who are the guys in the band?
Okay, so there's myself, and I play a really funky bass.
Yeah, can we talk about that a minute? It's an upright bass, but there's no sound. I mean, there's sound holes, but there's nothing behind the sound holes.
Correct.
What is that?
Correct. It's okay. So the bass story that we have several stories about the bass.
Okay.
And it's a question that I receive a lot, and so I've kind of over time you kind of get a situation where like, great, I gotta okay, well, here's the bass story. But the fake stories that I like to say is it was actually it was an artifact that was found on the remains of the Titanic after it sunk.
You're so
and that
full of it.
they pulled it up from and excavated it and then crafted it into a bass guitar, which is completely untrue. So that's the first untrue story.
That sounds like guys that have spent a lot of time in a bar together making up stories, is what it sounds like.
Exactly. We ran into some guys who are pretty prominent members of the bluegrass community out in Denver one time, and they were asking about it. I said, well, it's a gift from the Reagan administration. And they're like, what? and the funny thing about it is kind of the way we came across the bass was like even more a little bit mind-boggling, where I had joined the band, and I didn't really have a bass at the time. I was kind of like traveling, and they're like, here, I need a bass, and these guys are, bluegrass and this and that. I'm not really an upright player at that, at that point in time. And so I'm looking around, and we went to a couple stores or whatever, and then a buddy of mine is a wonderful guy, and he's always got like one foot in trouble and one foot out of trouble.
Nice.
I think he'd be probably comfortable saying that. Said, hey, you got to come over to my boy's house and check out the space. And like, okay, so we're kind of we're wandering into some interesting territory with the bass, and it's kind of just sitting in the corner, like amongst a bunch of, I guess, rubble and this, that, and the other thing, and it kind of just appeared out of nowhere, if you can think about, okay, so I'm looking for this bass, this and that, and then there it is, this artifact of, like, which really it's made out of a back of a chair. So when you look at the bass, and you can see, oh, man, like, after a while, you're like, that's totally the back of a chair, and we didn't know that initially. The first year we had the bass, we weren't sure exactly what it was, and so we had spent, as you say, a lot of conversations in the van and,
Wow.
around the stage going, what do you think it is? And, we would be like, maybe it's part of a porch. Trying to think of some other stuff that we thought it was. We maybe thought it would have been from like an old farming equipment for a while. So the list is quite long on it.
And someone just turned it into a bass, put the strings on, put the
Yep.
bridge on, and made it, and it sounds good.
Yes, it is one of a kind. It's homemade.
Wow.
And we're just grateful, completely grateful and blown away by the fact that, it came into our possession and it's held up so wonderfully. I'm knocking on wood right now.
And it probably
throughout all
travels
the
well,
performances
too.
that we have.
It probably travels well, right? Because that's the problem with upright basses. If you're taking a small car and you got to get all the equipment in, that bass takes up a lot of room.
Correct, yeah. The space is really great as far as, being able to travel all the places that we travel. And it's just, we're very, very fortunate to have, that piece of equipment in there. So.
All right, so I'm talking with Greg Manning of the Evergreen Grass Band, who will be in Decorah this weekend. He's the bass man. Now, also, is it a couple other guys in the band?
Correct. We got two other guys. There's Tim, who is a primary songwriter of the group and plays guitar, and then Matt, who is a wicked, burning banjo player, by all accounts that I've come into contact with.
Oh, well, we love banjo. So this will be fun here. When you guys got together, I read something. You guys are you're kind of full of it anyway. But I liked the bio, and one of the things I liked is you talked about like just sort of hanging out and hosting open mics. Is that something you guys still do?
Not so much these days, but yeah, in the earlier formation of the band, that was kind of a Sunday night thing where there's this little bar, you may be familiar with it, called the Mousetrap Tavern.
Yes.
Which hosts an open mic every Sunday, even today, and I think, probably since all of time began, this has been going on, because Eau Claire, as you may be aware, has a very rich history of musical tradition, so there's just the music kind of flowing out of every door in the whole place. It's just such a wonderful thing, and they got together there, and just night every Sunday they'd show up and then kind of learn a new tune here and there, and that's really, from my understanding, where things sort of came together for the group.
That's cool. I love that, because those kind of stories, for those, we have a couple of open mics in the area, more than a couple, but it's nice to hear that bands that are getting out on the road together are also enjoying time, kind of just playing around. I mean, sometimes it's about just remembering the the joy and the spontaneity and the goofing around a little bit. And an open mic allows you to do some things that maybe you wouldn't do, I imagine, on the road if you were trying to perform for people that were paying you.
Absolutely, and I think that's part of where maybe the sound, the original sound of the group, kind of came through, where they were able to they felt comfortable in a place to just be themselves and be ourselves and do what we want to do, rather than have to conform, to a certain way or a certain thing or certain stuff. And it's, I think, really part of Eau Claire where that comfortability to just be who you are is really ever present here, which is something we feel real fortunate about.
So does Evergreen Grass Band have some recorded music out that we all can get online and purchase?
Absolutely, and feel free to do that. We are available on Spotify. We are available on iTunes. We are available, I believe, at some of the other online CD outlets on the internet. Our newest album is called Blister Rust.
Okay.
And Blister Rust came out a little over a year ago, and you can pick up a CD at our show as well, so we do have physical copies available. But if you want to check it out on the internet, we're there, and if you needed more information about the band, you can find us on Instagram. Just type in Evergreen Grass Band. You can see, type us on Facebook, which our Facebook page we have a lot of fun with. So
yeah, I noticed that.
Maybe worth checking out.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you guys want to, listeners, you can go to KDEC Radio's Facebook page, FM 100.5, and click on the link that I posted this morning saying that the Evergreen Grass Band was going to be on. If you click on that, it'll go right to their page, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's just fun to stroll through. Kind of like your music, which, by the way, that first song we played, Fortune Passes, that's off of the new album, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we're gonna play another song. I can't let you go before we play another one. But first, I want to tell everyone that the Evergreen Grass Band will be in Decorah tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. at the Haymarket. And I can assure you, it's going to be one of those nights when we don't even notice that the floor is crooked because everyone's going to be dancing. The Evergreen Grass Band, again, Haymarket, you can find them online, and you can go to their website, evergreengrassband.com. So the song we're going to hear, Greg, is called Lonely Town. What can you tell me about the song?
Well, it's Matt, our banjo player, sings on it. And, you know, the general nature of the song is kind of about you have a life of, you know, something and this and that, and then you kind of end up in a place where, you know, I think of like you're sitting at a bar somewhere and you're looking around and you're like, wow, there's that like one guy over there, always drunk, and you know, if you come, you know where I'll be. So it's like just kind of the after. It's a lot of times it reminds me of what happens when a bar closes at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So you've had like this wonderful experience of like, you know, Ripple and bluegrass times, this and that, and you know it's like 2:30 in the morning, you're tired, and everybody's gone, and you kind of have this feeling like, oh man, like the party's kind of over.
I get it.
And you know, being a musician, you know, you see that situation quite a bit.
Yes, because you're the last ones to load the stuff out while everybody else went home.
Yep. You got it.
Except for that one girl that's hanging out in the corner hoping she gets your autograph or something else. Okay, it's Lonely Town, the song by the Evergreen Grass Band. Greg, this has been awesome. I'm excited that you guys are going to be in town this weekend, and we'll definitely be checking out your tour on your very fun Facebook page.
Excellent.
All right, here it is, Lonely Town on Artist Direct FM 100.5. Thanks to our sponsor, Singing Hammers Construction.
Thank you.
My ship sailed too many years ago to count. I've been in, I've been out, been said, I've been let down. That's why there's only one place left for me now. Mystery is beginning to unfold, and it's getting hard to swallow. All the lies I have been told. Maybe you can find me on the dead end of a dusty road. Come on down to Lonely Town. Have a drink on me. I'll be around. Come on down to Lonely Town. If you think of me, know how to find. Factions tales and mirrors, could not get it clear. She was screaming, I could not hear her. That's so far, I could not see her. Guess I turned my back down, lying looking back. Come on down to Lonely Town. Have a drink on me. I'll be around. Come on down to Lonely Town. If you think of me, know I'll be found. This town ain't no fun, no population war. I've seen so many ghost towns. This is the only one now.
for listening to Artist Direct on FM 100.5, your inside scoop on the music scene. Tune in again next Friday for another Artist Direct, brought to you by Singing Hammers Construction.